Hello, my friends. I want to tell you another story today about why I believe in neuroplasticity. I've shared my story and kind of parts 2 and 3 of my own story as to why I believe we are limitless and why I believe in this process of healing from chronic illness using neuroplasticity. And today I was on a call with a client who I could tell, I have a lot of faith in my clients' recovery. And so I have a very positive perspective on where they're at in their journey. And it's something I often get feedback on, surprised clients who are like, wow, it's really a really positive perspective you have. And it's not based in theory. It's not a pie in the sky or some sort of ethereal fantasy. And this is a story about why. And I share the story with my client's permission. So know that all people are respected here. So I had a client who I started working with who started with DNRS, and I think that's important to mention as we go through the story, a couple of years ago. And I worked with this client for probably 2.5 years, I would say, total. And it was, my clients are all over the globe generally, because I've gained my traction here on YouTube, and so there's no limit to who I can work with. As long as they speak English somewhat, we can work together. But this happened to be one client who was actually local to where I am within a few hours. And so we talked often. This person's also married and had a family and children, similar ages to my own children. We talked about how amazing it would be one day to meet and actually get to see each other and have our kids meet, and how amazing that would be. And it felt a bit like this pipe dream. There was that sense of it being this thing way far off in the future that, well, maybe that'll happen. But I knew it would. And I want to highlight too that this client had been housebound for a year. Long COVID was part of their journey, if that's relevant to anybody here. And there was the classic DNRS approach was not effective for this person. And so I kind of guided them, as I often do, from that starting point through their own organic process of recovery using neuroplasticity. And it's so unique to each person. I say that a lot on here, but neuroplasticity is about conforming to what your brain and nervous system need in order to create regulation and safety, and that is different for every person. So this person did not conform to the typical DNRS structure for very long at all. I don't think more than a few months, really. So that's something I want to highlight, because I often get questions as well of like, well, can you, a lot of my clients are very worried that if they don't adhere to the structure of the program they took, and for the majority it's DNRS, they can't recover. And this is one person who is living in their recovery and did not actually follow that structure for more than I don't think 3 or 4 months, honestly. I wasn't doing the math, but this is the amazing part. So I moved for the second time in a year, about 10 days ago. And not only did I go up to the mountains last fall with my kids and get to meet this person and their family, and it was just one of the most powerful experiences I've had of the power of neuroplasticity, because I work with people over the phone all over the world. I have for 5 years. Usually when people start feeling better, they stop coaching. I don't often get to see people through to the very end of their recovery. Sometimes I do, and I consider myself blessed when that happens. But this was the first time I was able to stand in front of a person who was standing there because of our work together, with their own children and family who were benefiting from that experience, and my children who saw me go through my recovery. And it was not pretty, and it was just this kind of strange thing mommy did. I had lost a lot of respect with my own kids, to put it one way, as I went through my own journey of recovery. And for this person to say, we're here today to celebrate life, because we're here living it. And that's partly because of your mom, right? Me, and the work that we did together. And fast forward to 10 days ago, this person and their family did most of the legwork in moving me to my new house. From bedbound, housebound for a year, to being the main muscle in moving me and my 5 kids to our new house. And I had another client and their family also helping move. So this is the power of neuroplasticity. This person's still on their journey, right? They're still working through things, but that level of transformation and capacity and function is no small thing. Especially for someone who, as most of us have, went through many years and a lot of expense trying a lot of different doctors, and this ended up being the thing that actually moved them into a place of being able to live their lives fully, as much as there may still be unresolved issues or traumas that need to be resolved, which is the less later stage recovery, people. That's how it goes. That is undeniable evidence of the effectiveness of neuroplasticity specifically, not any specific program, but neuroplasticity itself. And this is why I hold so much faith for my clients, not because of the theory, but because I see this time and time again with my clients. I have so many more stories in this one, but I see people overcome the most incredible health challenges every day, every year, as I work with them consistently, that most people just wouldn't believe is even possible. But this is my everyday experience, and that's why if you work with me, that's why at the end of our calls, I'll often reflect back to your progress and how amazingly you're doing and how excited I am for the next phase, because I can see it. And unlike the first 2 years of my coaching journey, now I've seen enough people through to recovery that I know this is what's coming for you. I feel it, I know it within, and I hold that vision for you. That's part of what I'm offering you, is my experience and my vision and the work I put into my own recovery and the work I put into my work to walk people through to the end and say, hey, here's where you're going. Hold that vision with me.